Starting off with the early prelims, we have Damian Penis. And the thing about this guy is his name is Damian Penis. Okay. And he actually got a really sick 1-2 knockout in his Contender Series fight. And it was nice and clean. And this guy, Wes Schultz, he seems to have some impressive grappling. Even just by looking at his stats, I've only really seen his Contender Series fight, but, he won by sleeve stretch. Got a guillotine, ground and pound, punches from back. Rear naked, Von Flew. He's pretty, so he's got some crafty tricks up his sleeve on the ground, but he did lose to Dylan Boca. And that, in 2023, Damian, he did lose last year. But, no, it's not a real loss. Damian's technically undefeated because that is a DQ. Lost via illegal kick, so it's a DQ. So Damian's technically undefeated. He's technically 8-1. Wes, he's lost to Vincent Abdul-Malik. That's not that bad of a look. But we don't really know how good Pinas is. And Dylan, that's not a good look losing to Dylan. I think Wes is going to go for some crafty stuff, and it's not going to work on Pinas. I think Pinas is going to turn out to be a strong defensive grappler, maybe some sprawling and brawling. I don't really know much about his grappling game, but he's got good striking. Hey, he's got a Darce choke, man. He's got a Darce choke. Elbows and punches. Maybe that is entailing that it was ground and pound. Who knows? But he's got a Darce choke, man. I trust in Damian Pinas to get his first decision win here. Yeah, I think he's going to get a decision win over this dude, Wes Schultz. Yeah, I think he's going to just, outdo him. You know what? I have faith in Damian Pinas. Let's go round 2 KO, honestly. Let's go round 2 KO. I'll stick to decision. I don't know, it's the opener of a card. I feel like they're usually decisions. And I will go KO. I'm feeling KO. He's got most of the KOs. Yeah, he's going to KO Wes Schultz. I think Frank Marshall's going to get a submission over this dude, Eric Silva, man. Eric Silva, he got submitted by TJ Brown. I think Francis Marshall's got better grappling than TJ Brown, and I think, Isaac Dalgarian, he's not that bad. Marion Santos is pretty good. William Gomez is decent. But losing to Brown and Naimov. And look, Eric Silva, he hasn't won a single fight in the UFC. He beat Anavar, the Contender Series, so that's interesting. Francis, he beat Connor Matthews and Dennis Bazooka, man. I think he's got decent grappling. He can pull off a submission and show us that, Francis Marshall. I think Francis Marshall's going to show us that he's decent. I think that's what he's going to do here. I think Sophia, she lost her Contender Series fight, yet she's fighting in the UFC anyways against a girl who beat Nicola Cagliari and beat Carly Giudice. That's aged well. Carly Giudice is on a streak. Isn't she? Yeah. So, Ernesta Kakriketi is definitely going to be getting the win. I don't know why it says she's an underdog on verdict. That's just some bull. And honestly, if she's losing on Contender Series and she's gotten KO before, why not? Why not? Ernesta Kakriketi, knockout. Sophia is not on her level, man. And alright, I feel like only one of those would happen. So I'm gonna switch Pinas' decision. Okay? And then I think Douglas Silva de Andrade, I think this dude, he's experienced. He fights once a year. He did lose to Miles Johns. That is crazy. But, this dude, he lost just last year to a random in the LFA. Okay? Last year. Same year that Andrade lost to Miles Johns, who was in decent enough, semi-decent fighter in the UFC. And, he fought a bunch last year. Javier's been very active, That might be his downfall. And I think Douglas is going to get a crafty vet KO. People forget, this guy's been in the UFC for a decade. He's going to get a little crafty KO, man. Yeah, we're going to see it. We're going to see a little crafty Douglas KO. I think, I think he'll clutch it up. I think he'll clutch up around 2, he'll clutch up around 3 KO. We'll go around 3 KO. No, he's not that good. Well, round 3 KOs are a very impressive thing. So we can't be doing all that. I've already got 1 round 3 finish predicted for this card, so I don't have that much faith in Douglas. I think Chris Matinho's shit. He's 0-3 in the UFC. I don't even know why he's back in the UFC. He got KO'd by Judio Canetti. I don't even know who that is. Kristen Quinones isn't that good, but he's good enough. He's good enough to be Long Zhao, all right? He could get a KO here. He's probably going to get a KO. He's probably going to get a KO. And so, but Matinho, he's getting KO'd by, it's just Wellmaker, and it's freaking O'Malley, but he also got KO'd by that one random guy. I don't even remember his name. I said it just a second ago. And, no, I don't know if I can trust Chris Matinho to go 3 rounds in a UFC fight. I don't know. I think Quinones should be good enough to get him out of there. Maybe it'll be an unimpressive 3rd round TKO. You know what I mean? It's oh, dude, why did it take you that long? Why is your fight IQ like that? I don't know. I'll go round 2. No, I'll go round 2. I'll go late round 2 TKO for Christian Quinones, man. I think Aline Perez is going to be getting herself a nice little decision. I'd pick Aylin to be Yana Santos. And Caitlin Vieira, I don't know. Caitlin Vieira is a tricky customer. She is. She's a tricky customer. And let's not forget, Caitlin Vieira went to a close, arguably beat Norma Dumont. She arguably, she went to a close decision with Kayla Harrison. I don't know why I'm talking about this, because it sounds like I'm about to pick Macy, but no. But losing to Caitlin Vieira is not a bad look. I mean, Caitlin did whoop on her, but Caitlin Vieira has proven to be pretty good in WMA. Yana Santos, look, she's just not on a good trajectory. The freaking Mara Benasilva one just hasn't aged well. Didn't she lose to Karine Silva? I think Aline Perez is going to get a nice, easy, maybe not easy, maybe hard fought. She's going to win. That's all I know. She's got, it's be Carl Rosa, Jocelyn Edwards, Daria Janikova, and she's working her way up the WMMA rankings. And I think she's going to get this one done. I think she's pretty good. She's probably going to be fighting for a title maybe, I don't know. I mean, she probably wouldn't be beating a Norma or Caitlin Vieira, but, we'll find out. Maybe, Caitlin Vieira fights something that she should look for if she wins that fight in impressive fashion. Jose Medina shouldn't even be in the UFC. This guy is literally on a 3-fight losing streak, and he lost his Contender Series fight. Alright? But he went to a decision with Zachary Reese. So Zachary Reese is not that great. He's stupid. And Ryan Gondra, he's 2025 Contender Series guy, and these guys are proven to be good. You know what? I mean, he's a finisher, and I don't know. Is he gonna win a decision, a KO? I feel like I'm not gonna overthink it. He's probably just gonna win a nice little KO, like everyone thinks. I don't want to overthink it. I don't want to overthink this one. So I think I'm gonna go KO. Between Quinones and Gondra. Someone's gonna disappointingly decide. And I don't think it'll be Christian Quinones because Chris Martino has literally gotten KO'd in all of his UFC fights. And Gondra is the Contender Series guy. He's been to decision. He's been to decision. Jose Medina, man. Why am I struggling to think about this? Let's just go to why not? I don't even know. I don't know. He's probably gonna KO him, right? I mean, Otabe Gutierrez ain't that special. Let's not pretend. Santiago Luna, I'm not serious. I'm not joking. Outside of finishing potential, he's like a frickin'. He's like a little off-brand fighting nerd out here. He's just got the finishing potential and not much else. That's how Otabe is. I think Santiago Luna is going to be getting himself a nice little submission in round 1. I think Angel Pacquiao is shit. He lost on the Contender Series. He lost to Colin Logden in the UFC. Santiago Luna should be getting a jump up in comp. He's 7-0, undefeated. Had a very impressive knockout win over Kwang Lee. Santiago is a really good prospect, but he does have more submissions to KOs. Let's not forget. So I think he's gonna get a sub. I think he's gonna go out and get a sub this time out. An easy sub. I feel like he's gonna do that because I feel like he can do what he wants to this guy, and I think he's just gonna prove hey, I can get a nice sub too. I think Emmanuel Rodriguez off of Ultimate Fighter is pretty good. I know, losing to Joseph Morales, that's whatever. It's Joseph Morales. He beat why did I say Roki? He beat a Contender Series guy. I don't even know why I'm mentioning his name. Kevin Borjas. Kevin Borjas is alright, man. Look, Kevin Borjas is alright, but I just think that Emmanuel is just, he's kind of, he's really good, he's got high finishing potential. He's a good little flyweight KO artist. Borjas has been KO before. I think it's going to happen again, okay? I think Edgar Shirez is going to be KOing Felipe Buns, right? Felipe Buns is Buns. I know it's Bunas. I don't care. He's Buns, so he's Felipe Buns. Felipe Buns. Edgar Shirez ain't no Jose Johnson, dude. You're not going to be beating Edgar Shirez. You're not Tatsuro Taira or Joshua Van. Okay? You're not Clayton Carpenter. Okay, dude? And okay, he's probably going to get it. He's probably going to get a submission. Let's be real. This guy, he only gets finishes. It's mostly submissions. He's a good submission specialist guy. Bunas, he's been submitted once. Been KO'd once. Who say it for me again? Interesting. But yeah, I think he's going to be submitting Felipe Bunas. He's going to do his thing. I think Daniel Zellbluberman is going to be getting an easy victory over King Green. Bobby Green, sorry, I accidentally called him King. That's crazy. He's not going to I don't think he's smart enough to KO him. I don't trust him, dude. I'm serious. I genuinely just don't trust this guy. I don't trust this guy, Daniel Zellhuber, to get a finish over him. Can he? Probably, but I don't trust him. I can't trust Zellhuber to get anything other than a decision when it's someone who's kind of decent. Or better, okay? Unless they're bad, unless they're alright, unless they're just crazy chinny. Look, you can't say Bobby's crazy chinny when it's it's Mauricio Rufy, who just chinned Rafael Fiziev, okay? Okay? Look, man, I'm going back and forth on a lot of these picks. I'm irritated by myself. I'm not secure in any of these picks. I feel like I got too many freaking finishes picked for this card. I'm going to go back to the prelims, and I'm going to say between the Ryan and the Christian. Someone's gonna fumble. I don't know these. I can trust these Contender Series guys. I don't trust Christian Quinones. I don't. I'm going. This one will be the decision. I foresaw this. Okay, I foresaw it, and it's in a vision I had just now. And I'm also foreseeing David Martinez beat up on Marlon Vera for 3 rounds. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be that dominant. I think it's going to be competitive 30-27. Arguably 29-28. That Martinez is going to win clearly. And Martinez is going to look pretty good, but I think, the hardcore is going to be like, well, Martinez isn't that good. Like, he's pretty good. He's like top 10, but he's only top 10 just because, like, certain other guys haven't come up yet. It's going to be one of those. And Brandon Moreno is going to beat Loner Kavanagh. I don't even really want to talk about this. Dude, if Loner Kavanagh just flukes this dude out cold, that would be insane. But it's not going to happen. Okay? It's not going to happen, guys. He's not going to fluke out cold. Brandon Moreno is going to win 49-46 decision. He's like, I don't know, maybe Loner is going to win a round and do really good in a singular round, right? Maybe stun him or something. But, I mean, I could see you picking Brandon Moreno by knockout as well, but I don't trust him anymore. I don't trust him to get a KO. I saw the Garcia fight. I saw the Al-Babzi fight. Like, he doesn't have it in him to be not only to be able to get the KO, like in the Al-Babzi fight, but to not even try and really press for it, like in the freaking Ursag fight, okay? Like, this is not the same Moreno that was, beating up Figgy, in the quadrilogy thingy, right? That was submitting Figgy. And the one fight, that was, TKO1 Kai Kara France. Now, alright? Or even freaking ground and pounding TKO1 Brandon Royval. This is not that same Brandon Moreno of old. Okay? He's hesitant, and I think he's just going to school him. I think Kavanagh is going to get schooled for 5 rounds and, like, fluke a single round maybe, get 49. Nah. I'm going Brandon Moreno, 50-45, masterclass. Okay? Okay. I think that's, maybe not master. It's going to be a good performance. It's going to be 50-45, but it's not going to be super dominant. We're going to, like, learn that Loner Kavanagh is really good. And the thing is, like, he lost to Charles Johnson, but, like, our boy Joshua Van, who's also the current paper champ, got fluked out by Charles Johnson. So Johnson just has that fluke ability. But let's not forget what was happening to Johnson in round 1. He was getting schooled. So I think he's going to be able to take a round off Moreno. 49-46. I don't even think he's going to get 50-45 anymore. I think 49-46, maybe 48-47. More likely 49-46. Clear Brandon Moreno. Maybe in the early rounds. Like maybe Loner Kavanagh takes a round or 2 off him early. And like does really good early. Then Brandon Moreno kicks it up in the later rounds. Takes over, clearly puts on a good performance. Commentary's glazing in. And everyone's saying, oh, Brandon Moreno's back, man. Even though, like, he literally, like, it wasn't that long ago that he got a win. But, yeah, I think this card is going to be fine. I think it's going to be fine. I don't know. You know what? I think Emanuel is going to get dragged to a decision with Kevin Borjas. The more that I think about it, it's flyweight. It's his first time in the UFC. I think he's getting dragged to a decision. And I think these are my picks. Yeah.